What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be fooling around with a title for the last time called Colony Ship. This is a exceptional, very, very good RPG that was made by the people that did Age of Decadence. I'm boosting it on up here because apparently it's been a significant financial hardship for these developers to get this game, out the door. And that's a shame, because people making awesome things should be getting, funding thrown at them from every corner of the publishing world, and yet that doesn't really seem to be the way things go. And when it comes to a game like this that's meticulously handcrafted in the Unreal Engine, that sucks, man. I definitely don't want to see the Age of Decadence developers go anywhere, because I think they make a unique brand of RPGs that nobody else really makes, like hyper-difficult, realistic RPGs that are gritty and dark and sort of ugly, and places that you wouldn't really very much like to live in with realistic outcomes. They make the sort of RPGs where your character is not the hero of the story. You're just some guy, and you may, if you're good enough, you might navigate your way through the story, but it's always going to be a little bit difficult. So we're going to dive on in today, play for about 25 or 30 minutes, see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this, you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. The game's officially in 1.0. Currently, I'm about 5.5 hours into the game at the moment, and most of my characters are between level 2 and 4 right now, so you don't level up very much in this game. But the level ups are hugely consequential, they matter. And so anyways, let's dive on in. Check the link down below, and then on top of that, you can also take a look down there and you'll find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream, just in case you wanted to hang out live. What am I doing inside the confines of the game right now? Well, I was tasked by a gang leader to come down into the bottom of this area of mission control where an old revolution took place and find a piece of technology. It's gonna get risky. If you don't know the setting of this game, this is a weird post-apocalyptic game that takes place on a spaceship. It's not how I pictured it, says Evans. I thought it would be bigger and, taller. I mean, who knows what it looked like back in the day? So much has been destroyed. Nobody knows how big the place is. Even the assembly members couldn't go below level 5. Assembly? General Assembly, like the Senate on old Earth. You'll see it soon enough. It's quite a sight. So did the General Assembly control everything then? I think it was a bit more complicated than that. The Assembly was a front, the real show was backstage, not that it matters now. Hard to believe that this was the most feared place on the ship at one time. All tyrannies fall under their own weight. Sic semper tyrannis, says Jed. Thus always de tyrants. Didn't take you for a scholar. Well, my father made me memorize the capitals and mottos of all Pan-American states. He thought it was important to remember that kind of stuff. So this is a post-apocalyptic game before we got waylaid by dialogue, of which the game has a lot, and it's all exceptionally well written, with exceptional prose and exceptional syntax and good characterization. This is a spaceship that's on its way to Proxima Centauri. That's why the game's called Colony Ship. Unfortunately, there was a massive mutiny and a revolution on this ship that has hundreds of thousands of people on it. And half the ship was destroyed. We don't even know if we're on course anymore. We should have arrived hundreds of years ago. Generations have born and died on the ship. And so now the ship is almost like this giant adventuring area where everything is closed off and you can't get to anything. And we are ship explorers going deep down into the ancient decks to find old pieces of technology that might help people survive or make them more comfortable. Now we need computer skill for that. I don't know if we have any though. Faith did it for us. All right, your teammate skills matter in this game. That's one thing that I like about it a lot. So I'll show you in a second, but basically you go through an entire skill sheet and you dictate when you click on an object who in your party is going to use that skill when you click on an object. It takes a little bit to set up the first time, but once you set it up, you're good to go. You just click on stuff and your thief or your rogue or your engineer will just go to work and fix it. A long list of century-old General Assembly announcements are prepared for broadcasting. The Synod recalls 14 assembly members for failure to discharge their duties and fulfill the trust placed in them. The people accept hard labor as penance and express confidence in the disgraced public servants' willingness to redeem themselves. So it looks like they arrested the old assembly members and assigned new ones for various areas. There's a guy down here. What does he want? Are you a problem, bro? Are you going to be easy to deal with, or are you going to be hard to deal with? A man stares into nothing, mumbling something to himself. It takes you a moment to realize he's dictating into a recording device. Hello? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you come in. Welcome to my humble abode. Of course, it wasn't always so humble. Before the mutiny, only the most powerful could set foot here, but time spares nothing and nobody. So what is this place? Observation box. From here, the members of the Synod once watched the General Assembly like the playwrights of old. I suppose that's what the General Assembly was, a big theater for the masses. I'm gonna write that down. What's a Synod? A council of the mighty, the real power behind the General Assembly. They gave themselves an ecclesiastical name, but it was temporal authority they exercised. Like so much else, they were destroyed in the mutiny. What are you writing? Our history. If we ever reach Proxima, our descendants will want to know about the voyage. Need to know. Don't you think so? Yeah, I think it's pretty important. Exactly! The key to the future lies in the past, and the most important question isn't what, but why. Yet fools also ignore it. Do they know why there was a mutiny? Do you? I mean, I feel like why is far inferior to cui bono. That's just me personally. I feel like why is fine, but cui bono usually answers why. So like you can Occam's razor this even further. People lost faith and the devil takes hold. Happens all the time. Okay, people lost faith. It happens more often than you'd think, but most important question is why? What changed? I mean, things turned to shit. I wouldn't have put it so eloquently, but yes, that is indeed the root of the problem. Had the ship authority managed to maintain stability and order, more people would have kept their faith, shallow as it was. That's why we need to prepare for the next mutiny, instead of letting it catch us unaware. You think there'll be another one? Do you think the conflict between the Protectors, the Brotherhood, and the Church are going to go on forever? Sooner or later, a winner's going to emerge and the cycle's going to start anew, only to end in another mutiny or some similar calamity. You can't avoid it, much like you can't avoid winter on Earth. But you can prepare for it, stockpile firewood and food, so to speak. Okay, so what about our own actions then? Our actions are driven by cyclical changes. Why do you think the first generation accepted and submitted to the authorities' rule, and later generations defied and overthrew it? Because the cycle changed. And just like that, it was perfectly acceptable before it suddenly became unacceptable, forcing people to act. So let's assume that you're right. What do you need from me? There are records, and they're waiting to be found. If we gather information, we can piece it together. Well, I'm headed down there anyways. We might as well take on another quest. This game is absolutely honeycombed with missions, by the way. There are dozens and dozens of missions that are all fully typed out, with backstory and dialogue and, like, characterization. You will meet a motley cast of people living on this ship in this game, and honestly, they're all really believable. Like, once you realize that everybody's just scrounging for survival on this ship with all the systems failing, it starts to make sense why everybody's just like a terrible piece of garbage, basically. What else do we have going on? We got a door over here. All right, let's check this out. This guy looks armed, though. Let's pop this bad boy open. Give me a hand, will you? Says the scav, pointing at the nearby crate. I tried dragging it, but it's too heavy. What's in it for me, man? Something ain't right here, Jed says quietly. Let's walk away while we can. I'll tell you what, you help me carry it to the train station, we'll split it fitty-fitty. No, I'm good. This is the part where I have to confess to you that I loaded a save right there because I actually stepped into that room and I got annihilated. There's guys hiding on all the sides of the crate, and it's a turkey shoot, dude. There's no cover or anything. You just walk in there, and you instantly just get machine gunned after that conversation. They just open fire with, like, grenades and everything. It's really bad finding yourself in a kill box like that. Combat in this game is pretty aggressive. It's pretty fast-paced. It's pretty nasty. The combat is basically what you've seen before in something like Wasteland 2. It's XCOM-inspired combat with kind of aimed shots and stuff like that. However, this is a game that really disincentivizes. You don't want to do combat in this game, all right? Just like Age of Decadence, this game treats combat like realistically. Your characters die very, very easily, and so usually you want to seek out some kind of like diplomatic way to get through situations like this, and if one doesn't exist, it's okay to walk away. Who's Denbow? Who is this guy? Oh, there's dead people over there. Great. Fantastic. First time, says the scav? You still have that look in your eye. What look is that? Seeing it all for the first time, figuring out what to make of it. Some folks come for the riches. There's none of that here, not anymore. Others seek the glory of the imaginary past when everything was just the way it should have been. Then there are the divers, but you ain't look like them. Why is that? You gotta be mad. That's putting it mildly to be in that business. For a true diver, another human being is either a rival or a threat. Best to be disposed of. You catch yourself thinking that, it's time to retire. Any divers here? Sure do. Foley, but it's been a while since I've seen him. Wilson's never been the same since his date with old Bub. Hargrave's down there somewhere, but I'd stay clear of him if I were you. Shadow, too. He's lost more crews than I can count, yet not a scratch on him. Then there's that mutant bastard that keeps to himself. Foley's dead, says Faith. Thought you looked familiar, the Scav says. Sorry about your father, miss. I knew him. Oh, yeah, the game when you take party members, like, everybody knows your party members and stuff, too. Like, they'll interject based on things that have happened in the past. So this game keeps track of, like, triggers and, like, the way that you resolved certain quests, and other characters will hear about it and, like, refer to it and whatnot, along with kind of, like, your legend. All right, well, let's keep trucking down this way and see what we got going on here. Nobody to interact with over there. Those guys already have guns out, which leads me to believe ain't nothing good gonna happen inside that room. We probably want to sneak in from this side since there's cover. Always look at cover in this game before you enter a room where you know there's gonna be a fight, because like cover is the biggest game changer ever in this game. Like, it's huge. Just like in XCOM, your cover nerfs the enemy's accuracy by like huge amounts and turns everything into a coin flip for them. Hey, a healing syringe. Nice. Take a healing syringe. That's good. What else we got around here? There's dead guys on this side. I don't like the look of that, but like, maybe we go look. Check this body here. What do you got going on? A dead Scav lying in a pool of his own blood, a revolver still in his hand. Judging by the holes, he must have crossed paths with the cruel and dangerous two-legged beast that plague these ruins. Before you can decide what to do about it, his eyes snap over and he's whispering something. Yeah, I've got med skills, so let's biotech him. You get skills in this game through usage, so anytime they come up in dialogue or in general areas, you kind of want to take them so that you get good at stuff. He shivers from crown to boots as the drug cocktail courses through his system. With little bleeding he had left to do stops, accelerated tissue regeneration begins, but he's too weak to endure the processes. He goes into shock and cardiac arrest. Luckily for him, you've got a makeshift defibrillator that you made out of a battery. He's gonna be sore, no doubt, and have some extra scars, but his respiration stabilizes, his heartbeat gradually slows to normal. Nice work, Doctor. I guess I'll leave him his pistol. Who knows, you might see him again in the future. Who's this guy over? This guy's actually dead. Oh, he's got like a gas grenade, huh? That sounds sick. Let's get a gas grenade, dude. I'm okay with that. So I've got a pulse grenade. I've got that right there. This is everybody's equipment menu, by the way. This game has layered armor, in case you were wondering. And so you layer your armor, and this is what all my guys currently look like. A bunch of underground trench coat wearing psychos, basically. That's pretty much all there is to it. We will more than likely... I need to put grenades and stuff on each person. The disruptor, I think, is for like a different quest. I think I need that for something, so I don't want to put the disruptor, but you can have a gas bomb, I guess. Oh, he's got subdermal armor. You also have cyberware in this game that you can install. You find it around. Stay out, says the welcome message on a blood-spattered door. The message is easy to dismiss, the blood not so much. Jed, crack it open for me, would you? A shotgun blast hits Jed in the chest, throwing him backwards. Nothing a trip to the medbay won't fix after you deal with whoever set up the trap. Is he all right? Oh, Jesus. Okay, he got leveled. We're going to need to heal him up with a med kit, so there we go. Med kit time. You have general med kits in your inventory. This is the spot where you auto-assign everybody to the skills. You can hit the auto-assign button to make it go faster. I think they added that, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember that, but it might have been there the last time. But everybody that has skills can use them automatically while you're cruising around. Let's see what's in this little nook over here, dude. Computers 4, open the door. Faith gets the door open. Good. What's going on in here? Mummified body. The neural uplink appears to be in good condition, but extracting it from dried tissues won't be easy. I've got Biotech 3, so I can pull it. Let's get it. There we go. Biotech. We get a neural uplink. Is it broken, though? That's always the question. Do I gotta fix it? No, actually. It's good. It's ready to roll, so I've got 3 of them now. What's the console do over here? Before the mutiny, such terminals could synthesize any drug in their database. Unfortunately, the database is offline and the molecular replicator doesn't seem to respond. We'll leave it alone for now. I don't have anybody with Biotech 4. What does this one do? Oh, electronics. We can strip it for parts. Nice. We got a module. So basically around the world, you get this thing called electronic modules. They're basically like a generic technology you can use to instantly solve like a big problem. They're very, very useful. All right. These things, they can actually like change the way you move through a dungeon and whatnot, and having them is a really good idea. So you should kind of like guard them jealously, in my opinion. What is that? Strength, move it aside. Let's see. Push the container aside, and there's an opening that you can squeeze through. Oh, dude. What's in the lower room? Another spot down. Oh, there's that guy they were referring to, that Hargrave dude. I mean, it looks like he kind of wants to talk, but it's kind of hard to say. There's some mind worms in there. I've never even seen those before. I don't know what those are. A blackjack. I'll loot it all. Give it all to me. We don't leave things behind in this house. We've got an upgrade chip. I need Biotech 8 to get that spinal upgrade chip. I'm going to go ahead and say that we probably don't know how to do that. We only have Biotech 3, almost Biotech 4, but still, looks like we can climb down right there. It actually doesn't look like we have a safe way to get to where Hardgrave is at. I think we just got to pick a hole and go down it, man. That climbs up. Where does it climb up to? A robot and a barricade. Okay, let's get the barricade real quick. So that's not barricaded anymore. So now we have a thoroughfare through there. Like, we've got a loop back. What's the robot do? Destroy combat robot, stripped of weapons and armor. Head took a hit, but the chassis might have something valuable. What you got? Faith pulls out a gyroscope without damaging it. Where's that at? Oh, there it is right there. Oh, it's a quest item. Interesting. I don't have that quest. This game will let you pick up quest items that you don't have the quest for. I have a bunch of them right now. I find a few rare spawns and like monsters and stuff that like it gave me like something, and it says it's for a quest, but I haven't found the person that wants it yet. And so I've been talking to everybody, but haven't been that lucky so far. I guess we'll go through here and see where this elevator goes. We'll go through on this side, though, because at least we've got some bare basic cover right there. And then what we're going to try to do is we'll gas grenade them out of that. I bet they're going to attack me, so... Several scavs set up a camp here, blocking the only access to the elevator. They don't seem to be hostile, but you never know. Approach? Oh, it put me back to the other side. Who goes there? One of the scavs says mockingly. Just passing through. You mean just passing through our camp? I don't recall inviting you, but if you want to make a small contribution... I mean, I'm right on the edge of a persuasion level up. I'm not paying anything. If we have to fight over it, so be it. But ask yourself, are you prepared to die over a couple hundred credits? Are they? Fine, I was just messing with you. Oh, nice, dude. Yay! All right, I don't have to fight anybody. I'm trying to tell you, dude, we're going to do some combat today, but combat in this game is always just, like, stressful. Combat doesn't have good outcomes, man. Oh, I think we found our way to Hargrave. I don't know if he's going to be friendly or not. Can we get through this door over here? What do we have going on this side? It's like a lockpick door. A small package taped to the underside of a table. Oh, perception success. Nice. Will you idiots get out of the way? I can't pick up. I want the desk box. There we go. Zen, apparently, an LSD derivative. It raises your neural resistance, actually. Okay, so if we go up against psychers or anything, that'll be good. Was there anything in here? Doesn't look like there was anything pertinent back up in there. Where does that door go? It's got a skull on it, man. I'm saving my game, dude. I'm a unholy save scummer in games like this, bro. I save scum like crazy. Blood's everywhere with no bodies. There's a hole filled with rubble in one of the walls. Curiouser and curiouser. You mean like terrifyinger and more terrifyinger? I'm not going in there. You must be out of your mind, dude. Forget that noise. And this room's just as bad. Who knows what Hargrave's gonna do over here? Is there even a gap we can get through on this side? Okay, so after taking a look around, it looks like there's an interactable barricade over here that I can climb over. A group of scavs is heatedly debating their inability to disable a force field. The raised voices and finger pointing seem to be simmering just short of a fistfight. Noticing your approach, the leader of the rough crew shoves his men aside and steps forward to greet you. How you want to earn $3 grand? He says without preamble. Who are you supposed to be? Hargrave. We lost a man, but could be our loss is your gain, right? What's the job? You ever fought those mind-sniffing worms before? It's easier than you think. Smash apart the hard shells and inside they're like pudding. Gooey and defenseless. That's it. That's all it takes. That's what he told Joey, one of the mates chips in. Now he's a vegetable. Yeah, Joey wasn't ever a big thinker, was he? In fact, I can hardly tell the difference. What happened to him? He froze up is all. Just stood there with a dumb look on his face while the worms helped themselves to his gray matter. I doubt it was what you call a feast. Listen, don't dally. Just charge right at him and you'll be fine. Probably. Better than fine, because your credits will stick and be nice, or your cred stick will be nice and fat when you come out the other side. What do you say? I guess I can give it a try. That's the spirit. Up and at 'em, I say. So those are the old mind worms right there, huh? Never seen a mind worm before. I don't know exactly what they do. So this could turn into a bit of a situation. Is there anything inside of here we can mess with? A magnetically sealed door. But it's magnetically sealed from the other side, eh? Okay. I mean, something touches your mind, kind of like probing it first and then digging deeper as if peeling your brain like an exotic fruit. You tell yourself it's not real, it can't harm you with a thought, least of all some mindless worms, but a violent seizure kind of dispels that notion. I mean, they only have 20 HP. How bad could it be? Okay, so they shoot like mind bullets at us, and they drain our AP. Gotcha. So this is combat. In combat, everybody has like a different thing that they do. So for example, you've got a bunch of different abilities here. You can play around with all of them, figure out which one you like the best. For example, you can do, snapshots, aim shots. You can aim for specific parts of the enemy's body. You can use special abilities that are enabled by your weapons. So that would be things like grenade launchers, 3-shot bursts, that kind of stuff. We probably want to spread out a little bit, would be my initial line of thinking. I mean, a flashbang would be cool and everything. I don't know if it'll help, though. I don't know if a flashbang's a great idea with these things. I don't know exactly how they work. And so let's just spread out on the first turn, and we'll worry about the other stuff later. She don't really need to spread out. Go ahead and give that thing the blappers. Okay, it's tougher than I thought it would be. They're spreading the damage around a little bit, which is not bad. Let's continue. So if I've got like 100% chance to hit, like what if I just do like a focused burst? Oh, I don't have enough action points because they drained my AP with that attack that they did. Okay, I guess we just do the normal bullet gunshot then. 2 damage right there. Nothing like big numbers to really tie together an afternoon. Start with a shotgun on this guy, I guess. That worked. That'll do it. It's 6 AP though, so we ain't got none left. My sniper over here, we kind of want him to use... Yeah, go ahead and use a regenerative stim, just in case. He's only got like 4 AP left, so there's not going to be much he can do here. Like, I don't even know if a flashbang would help right there, in all honesty. So, like, I don't know. End your turn. Give me some evasion. We got 8 AP going right here. Let's kill the weak one first. Yeah, they're getting us pretty good right now. It's not great. These grazes are not helping with the situation. There we go. 1 mind worm down. You start moving over here to get that one. They appear to be very, very weak to shotgun blasts. That's the vibe that I'm getting, is they're not exceptionally strong versus a shotgun. And, to be fair, who among us are? Everybody's kind of panicked, so we're going to be losing a lot of AP here. I guess they've probably got some kind of armor resistance that's making it very difficult to hurt them. Gun sounds should be punched up a little bit. They're a little bit quiet. You want to go ahead and just put him to sleep for me, would you? Man, what a scuffle. You guys drop anything? You guys got any loot or whatever? There's a panel to go through back there too. Man, I got beat the hell up. I'm gonna be using all my med kits inside of here. To fully heal my party, what's it gonna cost me? That's a lot of med kits. We took a solid scuffing right there. Okay, well, I mean, we made it through it. It wasn't ideal. I do have a level up on my main character right now that we can mess around with. He's got a feat that we can play around with. So at level 3, there's so many feats in this game, dude. The character building in this game is really, really robust. What my character needs, or at least what I would prefer from my character, we could get Sprayer. He does have a lot of SMG skill. I gave my guy, like, I wanted my guy to have, like, Mac 10s, you know what I mean? It's like, brat, brat. Like, I wanted to have the Mac 11s or, like, the Tech 9s where you just, like, spits like a bullet hose, you know what I mean? That's what I'm into. One thing this guy is missing, though, is armor training. So armor in this game has weight, and it lowers your initiative and, like, your reaction times and stuff. And so, like, I'd like to get some kind of, like, armor specialization, too. I get armor penetration. My weapons, because their SMGs, don't have good armor pen, and so plus 10 armor pen right there would be really good. And I get that by nature of having a really high perception as a base stat, so that's kind of like a thing nobody else can get unless they have as high of a specialization as I do. We could also go sharpshooter, which allows us to get aimed shots, which would be good. Let's just go for Sprayer, I guess. I think my initial is good, because we get 4 armor penetration from here, which is half what we get with that other perk, but we also get a bunch of accuracy out of it. So I think getting the Sprayer would be a good idea. Nobody else has a level left to go yet. I've got a feeling that guy's going to betray us. There's like no way he's just going to pay us $3,000 for this. Let's go down to the lower level, though, first and see what we can do. Strip that for electronics. What's this console do? The security terminal requires you to log in before even contemplating doing anything else. Okay. This guy's got what? Biotech 3? Cool. We got a bionic eye out of his body. Level 4 lockpicking. Jed took care of that, and he's now at level 6. There's a big, gnarly hole right there in the ground. You can actually jump into the darkness below. The question is, should you? No, absolutely not. You're gonna, like, break your ankle or something, and then bad things are gonna happen. What's in this dead guy's pockets? What you got? An old welding helmet. An electronic part. Dude, I was out of these, like, an hour ago, and now I'm just, like, swimming in them. And we also got a worker's jacket. It's crap, but we can sell it when we get back to town. Anything else down here? Can you get to that crate? You can. Ooh, what is that? An old firefighter's helmet. 7/7 minus. Ooh, 7/7 12 minus 5. That's not bad. Every piece of armor gives you flat damage flat damage mitigation in this game. So DR. That's it. That's a very simple system. Your gun does like 18 damage. If the enemy has like 11 DR, you do 7 damage. That's it. That's the whole thing. It also gives you thermal vision, though, which is really nice. It means if you're fighting in a dark environment, might work out pretty good. I'm only going to take 1 hit from armor handling right there if I swap into it. So I have -9 initiative, which sucks. My party, I kind of up-armored everybody, and they kind of, like, always go, like, last in combat now. I've been sort of debating with myself whether or not that's a good decision or not. Largely because going last means they get to open on you, and it hurts. It's very stingy. I can't get through to that area, so we'll just kind of go back where we came from and see if this guy's going to stab me in the weenus. I mean, maybe he'll be friends with us because we did something impressive and we defeated the mind worms, which they couldn't defeat. I don't know. Alright, Worms is dead. Where's my money? Behind the force field. Where else? You didn't think we were just going to pay $3 grand for killing a handful of worms, did you? Doesn't matter. The next part's a breeze. Trust me. Behind the worms, there's a server room. Put in the password. We'll act as the rear guard. Make sure... You're going to steal it while I'm out, dude. Then what? The magic password opens the door to the generator. Shut that down and the force field disappears. After that, you get paid in full. All right, so here's what we're going to do, right? We're going to activate the force field. Turn it off. We're going to wait about 8 minutes, and then we're going to turn it back on, and we're going to have them trapped inside of there. And then we're going to wager for their freedom. That's what I would do if I was trying to Han Solo my way through this situation. He's obviously angling to stab us in the back and grab the loot and run, man. Just saying, prisoner's dilemma. You got to get them before they get you. Back in the day, one could monitor employee communications, initiate a lockdown, and enable and disable the force fields in the conference room. Most of this functionality is long gone, and access to the force field emitters is permanently disabled. All you can do is open the door to the backup generator. Alright, where's the backup generator at? There was another electronic to strip over there, too. Nice. So where's the generator room at? I don't see anything that looks like a generator room. We gotta find it, though. All the dungeons are like this, by the way. They're full of skill checks, multiple ways that you can get through. I did a dungeon right before this one where I spent an inordinate amount of time convincing a guy that I was on his side because his gang was bigger than mine. And then I activated a security system because I had a key card that he didn't know about. And the security system marked me and my friends as okay and them as not okay, and it murdered all of them, and then I got to keep all the loot. This game has all kinds, I mean, then you can just fight them. You can talk and you can be friends and split it with them 50-50. There's all kinds of outcomes in this game. It's great. It's really fantastic the way they let you decide if you want to use your skill points or not to get through situations. I opened the door to the generator room. Never doubted you. Now go shut down the generator. All right, what's in there? I didn't even see what room opened. Oh, it's the hermetic door right there. On the other side right there. It was that door that was sealed up. All right, let's go. Let's see what's in here, dude. I save my game so much. Listen, don't judge my text log right now, okay? I save a lot in games like this, and I scum even harder, all right? That's just the way I like to play my games. Once this backup generator could keep the entire center up and running, but now all the power is routed to the force field. Failsafe system is watching the generator like a hawk, not only for changing voltage or circuit interruption, but also for unauthorized attempts to force a shutdown. All right, let's look at it. The generator's been designed to keep the admin center and the future colony operational no matter what. Sabotage ranked high on that no matter what list, so nothing as simple as pushing a button or taking an axe to the control panel is going to do the trick. To shut it down, you need to disable the failsafe first, or reprogram it if you have the skill. Faith, reprogram it. Manipulating the failsafe system is easy if you know what you're doing. While it refuses to accept commands, it freezes for a moment each time Faith presses a digital button, then pretends it never happened. It does respond to changes in the generator's operational conditions, instantly making the necessary corrections. She feeds fake numbers to the system, creating a virtual emergency, unstable voltage, frequencies, forcing an immediate shutdown. That wasn't really what I wanted to do. I thought reprogramming it was gonna let me like set up a trap for these guys and like lock them in there until they starve and then come back for the loot later, because I'm like a dick, dude. I'm a terrible person in this game, but you should be a terrible person because everyone is a terrible person in this game. This guy is 100% gonna try to murder us. You know how I know that? Literally every person I've met in this game has tried to murder me after I help them. Every single one. Being empathetic in this game, it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. Be a monster like everybody else. The force field is gone and the scavs are looting the chamber. Hargrave is holding a rapid-fire energy gun, admiring the craftsmanship. Yeah, I'll walk up. I did my job. There you are! I've done what you asked. You did. I hope you understand how it pains me to do this, but a successful business has to run lean, and you're a bit of fat that we can't afford. He turns his gun on you. I mean, why not part amicably then? I don't mind killing you. God knows you're practically begging for it, but I got a feeling you might be of use to me. Are you courting me, boy? Now, I don't have the money I so hastily promised you, but this head cannon more than makes up for it, or this hand cannon more than makes up for it, so I'd say we're even. He throws you the gun. I'm gonna leave on good terms with this guy, because I've got a feeling that's gonna be relevant later. I'm gonna need to call in a favor from somebody. Right now on another floor of the ship, there's an ongoing gang war between like 3 different factions, and I've already picked one, and right now all of their quests are focusing on gathering allies. I've got a feeling I'm gonna need that guy later on to kind of even the odds in our favor when we go up against the big showdown for who controls the top deck. There's a bunch of destroyed arm guards in here. I'll take them. They're pretty beat up, but they're pretty strong too, so they might be useful to us. What's up with the data pad? You're holding a small data pad. The files have been wiped clean except for one, the last will and testament of James Langmore. What the hell can you say at a time like this? This is the last will and testament of Lieutenant James Langmore. My earthly possessions amount to a handful of plasma cells and a trauma kit. Whoever reads this, you can have them. The odds of anything getting past our force field are pretty close to nil, but writing distracts me from what's on the other side. We let the first wave cluster up nice and snug around the force field before we detonated the charges. Don't think those streaks on the floor will wash off, and if the rebels think we'll let them stroll into the bridge and grab the wheel, they're in for the biggest surprise of their lives. So, last testament. How did it all come to pass, I guess? I wish I could tell you we didn't see it coming, but I'd be lying. Everybody who worked the deck saw the writing on the wall, but our wise elders said it was well under control. Maybe they simply didn't comprehend the threat. After all, it's hard to have unwavering faith in the mission while acknowledging that it can fail. If they had taken reports seriously, if we'd struck with everything we had, we'd have raised the whole nest in one go. Bradford Williams and that traitor Harlan. The answer was always the same. Such reckless actions lead to an open revolt. Worked out pretty well, didn't it? First they tightened up the screws, causing the riots, then they refused to act out of fear of escalating the situation. They talked of negotiating when the rebels talked of nothing but taking power by force. Now they're hiding below like rats, blaming everybody but themselves and pleading for the security forces to do something. Too little, too late. You believe this? Langmore thought he was on the right side of things. He stood for law and order, but his sacrifice was in vain. He stood for tyranny and oppression. He said so himself. The elders were corrupt, and yet all he wanted was to strike at the mutineers like that would fix all the problems. Fair. What's the elevator do? It elevates. That's what we learned. And then there's robots inside of here. But this is Colony Ship. This is a sprawling RPG. And make no mistake, in the world where Baldur's Gate 3 exists, this is still an exceptional CRPG that can easily hold its head up high next to things like Pillars of Eternity. It can hold its head up high next to, Tyranny. It can hold its head up high next to Planescape Torment, the new Planescape. This game is a welcome member of the CRPG community. It's really, really good. It's made by a very small team, so please go support them. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had Colony Ship for the last time. Tomorrow we'll have something else. Thanks for hanging out, and that's all I got for you. Bye, folks.